Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm gonna teach you guys about heuristic. So first, let me introduce myself. My name is Ryan O'Neill Anatep, a student from PPISMP, class Med 2. Let's continue. Actually, what is heuristic and why we need to learn about it? So, let me explain. Heuristic is a word that comes from ancient Greek, which is heurisko, and it's bring the meaning of to find or discover. Using the character, we can tell that heuristic is defined as a problem-solving method that is not optimized or rationalized, but it is important to achieve what it is meant for. And then we come to its purpose. The aim of studying about heuristic is so that we can speed up the process of creating a solution for a given problem. And then one more thing to remember is when using heuristic, we need to apply them in an order, which means we need to follow each step one by one without skipping steps or doing it in another manner. Okay, before we go on, heuristic is a skill which is applicable to both non-routine and KBAT question. To further understand this, let me explain what is non-routine and KBAT. So, both of these is actually a similar
Thank you for watching, and
with
see you guys later.
Slight difference in their focus. Non-routine require creative originality, critical thinking, but non-routine is lacking in a clear procedure and may have multiple solutions. And it is mainly focusing on problem solving without conventional method. While for KBAT, it is used to encourage learning in critical thinking, analyzing, evaluation, and creativity. KBAT also stimulate a deeper understanding and application on knowledge. Finally, KBAT helps encourage students to think critically and apply what they have learned before. Anderson taxonomy, what is it? Okay, let me explain. So, Anderson taxonomy is a main concept that is being used in creating a non-routine and KBAT question. So, Anderson taxonomy is a revised version of Bloom taxonomy that emphasizes on creativity as the highest form of learning and using verbs to describe its cognitive. So here I have listed the characteristic of Anderson taxonomy, which is its restructure learning level. Restructure means from Bloom taxonomy, it arrange it again in a new level that he thinks the correct. So he placed creativity as the first, and then Anderson taxonomy is also uses verbs like creating, evaluating, and analyzing to the active application of knowledge. It also helps teacher to create lessons, tests, and instructional strategies that foster high order thinking skill and encourage the application of knowledge and understanding at a deeper level for his student. Okay, now let's look into how to construct a non-routine question using Anderson taxonomy. In Anderson taxonomy, question is divided into 3 categories, which is easy, intermediate, and advanced. For easy, students have to be able to use simple terms, facts, and procedure without knowing what is it for. Basically, easy level question concentrate on memory retrieval rather than deeper understanding for the students. Secondly is the intermediate level. In this level, students must analyze situation and apply learning concept to solve problem effectively. They must use information in a particular way in order to demonstrate their solution. So the third one is advanced level. Students at this level must use critical thinking ability to create original, valuable work that they have created. Okay, let's start off with example of easy level question. Here, the question state, after having initially on 15 apples, Tom decided to give 7 of them to his friend. And how many is left after that? So, first of all, in heuristic, there are steps in solving problem, which is understanding, making plan, carrying out the plan, and checking the answer. Now let's see how to solve this question with heuristic. First, we need to understand. Then, jot down the given information like have 15 apple, give 7, and how many left. Next, in making plan, we decide to draw diagram to help us imagine the process that is going on. Now here, we have drawn out the 15 apples that Tom initially have. After that, we draw out again 7 apple because Tom gives 7 to his friend, right? So we draw out 7 and do an arrow. So we need to know that from the previous image, we will cancel out 7. And then finally, we count back one by one the number of apple left from the first image. And then we get the answer is 8. Okay, so as we all know, heuristic is closely related to computational thinking skill. So let's identify what city skill that is involved in this question. Okay, based on the stat just now that we have do, we can say that it involves algorithmic thinking because we need to follow a sequence of steps in order to solve the question. Also, the question requires us to identify the initial number of apple and determine the number of apple that is being shared and subtract the number of shared apple from the initial number of apple to find out how many left. Now, so for this part, we are going to look into an intermediate level question. Now, this question states that Damien's grandma has lots of 5 cents, 6 cents, and 7 cent stamps. And she wanted to figure out what total could she make using combination of 3 of these stamps and what total is impossible to figure out. To solve this question, first of all, we need to create a table with amount of each cent and its total. But keep in mind that amount of total cent cannot be more than 3. For example, on the first row, when there are 3 5 cent stamps, amount of 6 and 7 cent stamps should not be anything, which means 0 lah. Cannot be any number there. Then the table is continued until all the possible combination has been written down. So then finally, we can conclude that all the possible amount, which are 15, 16, and 17, 18, 19, 20, and the last one is 21. And we also know all the impossible amount, which are number less than 14 and number above 22. Now, after we have solved that question, let's look at what city skill that we have used. First, we have decomposition, where we focus on each step individually to make the problem easily to solve and understand. Secondly, we have pattern recognition, where we identify which total are possible based on the combination of stems available. By analyzing the relationship of the stem, we can quickly determine whether the combination is valid or not. So finally, we has come to the hardest level, which is advanced. So for the question, it asks, what is the suitable length of wooden plank needed to make a hexagonal fence for a pool with a diameter of 10 meter. To solve this question, a diagram is drawn so we can imagine roughly the shape and position of the fence. And then to find the plank length, we can see the application of formula, which is side length of hexagon is equal to 2 times the radius of a circle. As we all know, 2 times the radius is actually equal to the diameter of the circle. So we get the answer for one plank, it need to be at least 10 meter in length. But why 10 meter is the suitable length? As we know, the purpose of the fence is to cover the pool. Therefore, it cannot be shorter, or else the fence will be inside the pool. And also, why it cannot be much more longer? Because it will cost much more to build. The suitable length should be 10 meter is the best one. Now let's look for computational thinking for this question. Okay, CT skill that we can see is logical reasoning. We use logical reasoning to determine the best position of the hexagonal fence because it could be built at the horizontal or vertically, or maybe other position is possible. Then we also think logically that a geometry principle of the formula just now is applicable for this situation. And finally, we identify the best one from many other possible length of the plank. Then we get the answer that is equal to 10 meter just now. Finally, to conclude, everyone understand, right, why heuristic is crucial? Because it helps us solve complex daily life problems. And then heuristic train our brain to think in more critical way and to be more confident in our skills. Although heuristic don't offer a direct and instant solution, it gives us the chance to explore other different methods that we can use and might be easier to us for understand. Therefore, heuristic doesn't restricted to math problem only. It helps in wide range of problem across various domains.